everyone, and welcome back to Break Time Conversations, a YouTube channel where I have conversations around education. I have been a teacher all my life, and along my journey, I have met and I continue to meet so many interesting and inspiring people. And so I decided to document my conversations with them here so that you too can hear their stories and the amazing work that they do. Uh, Kirti, Krishna, Ratnoo, and Sukanya Muralidharan. Sorry, my pronunciations are very, very bad. Kirti is the co-founder of Vetaas Education Foundation. Her focus is on ECE, parent engagement, language, and literacy. And whether it is through teaching, curriculum development, or other educational initiatives, she is committed to positively impacting the education system and exploring new opportunities to create a rich and learning experience for children. Sukanya is the head of strategy, Vetaas Education Foundation. She has 9 years in the field of education, and she's a writer as well, along with being an educator. And she's currently trying to tackle the challenges of early childhood care and parenting. Kirti and Sukanya, thank you so much for being here today. And I'm so excited to have this conversation with you. So we'll start off with Kirti. Kirti, why don't you tell us about your journey, how you got started, how far you've come? Because from whatever I've seen, there is so much going on. So over to you, Kirti.
Thank you so much, Anupa, for inviting us. It's an honor for us. And just to give you the context first, I come from Rajasthan, a place called Jodhpur. I grew up in different states of India because of my father's job. I studied in Kendra Vidyalaya. So I got to see people from different cultures and region, growing up. I finished my college in my hometown, and in 2016, I came to Bangalore to pursue my MA in education from Azim Premji University. And that's where I met Sukanya for the first time, and we became friends after that. So during that course, I got to see different educational setups, whether it's an alternative school, mainstream school. I was already exposed to that. I am a product of a mainstream school, and we got to see public schools in rural areas, urban settings. So all of that helped me understand a little deeper what are the challenges of our education system and where we can go to find some solutions. So the journey of getting into education sector started from there. Then I worked in Azim Premji Foundation for a year where I got to explore the public education system a little more deeper. I worked with children of tribal communities there. And after a year, I thought, let me go and teach for a while. So I ended up in a Waldorf school in Bangalore. I taught Hindi as a second language there, and that's when I discovered my love for the language and literacy. And during my college also, during my MA, I was also exposed to Esperanto movement, and I became part of the movement. I got to represent India in a few places. And That was just one interest area I developed. But when I started teaching language, I actually understand what language is all about. So I was able to see language more than not as a subject, but more than a language that children need to learn, and it can't be taught the way we teach maths or science or any other subject for the matter. And the school gave me so much freedom to try out different pedagogies, try out different activities with children, and also gave me the chance to reflect on certain things and become a reflective practitioner. They provided me somebody who was there to mentor me all the time, because it was my first time teaching in an alternative setup, and Waldorf has a very different approach. So I also got to explore my art and craft side during my time in the world of school. So I got into crochet, which is very addictive at times. So I started many projects, and I'm still into it. And then lockdown happened, and I started taking online classes. And that's when I saw parents taking so much interest in their children's classes. They used to sit with them. They used to talk about, okay, what is the story that you're telling? Can you record and send? They used to listen to the stories I used to send. And I saw, how children enjoyed their time when parents and children were sitting together listening to those stories. So that's when I discovered that, when we involve parents into education, it does magic to children. So that idea was there. And I also started developing interest in early childhood education. So I am pursuing my diploma, PG diploma in EC from APU. So that's my second time in APU. I just can't leave that place, I feel. Anyways, so I also got the chance to work on a textbook writing project where the textbooks were dedicated to children, those who are having Hindi as their second language again. So all my experience in the world of school, I tried to document all of that into those textbooks. So it was more like a closure to the entire experience that I had. Currently, I'm also working with Gubachi, and I work with their language teachers. I try to support them with some sort of resource, some sort of skills that they need to work with children. And Gubachi is a very specific place. It works with children of migrant laborers, and the classrooms have children from age 6 to 10 in one group and 10 to 14 in other group. So it's a very mixed kind of age group that teachers are working with, so they can't stick to one approach. They have to try out different things. And that's where I come into the picture and I try to work with them. Apart from all of this, we also have Vetaas, where we work with parents of young children. So basically, we try to engage parents in a way that they learn certain skills, they get a few resources that they can use with their child at home. And we provide them workshops, and we give them a sort of experiential, and we give them an experience of how it feels to engage with your child. And with those skills and resources, they can recreate that experience at home. So this is where I am now.
Wow, what a journey. That is so interesting. I love it's very interesting I say this because when we were in school we hated language teachers. And it's interesting that you are the language teacher because what you said is so right that language teachers need a totally different way of teaching the subject. It's not like maths, it's not like science. And I don't think many teachers knew that or figured that out, which is why the children didn't like the subject. Children didn't well. I mean, I was one of them. So I love that you figured it out and you love it and you're passionate about it. And I hope there will be more of you out there. Thank you, Kirti, so much. I love that you're working with parents. It's so interesting. I also absolutely love that you're working with preschool, with early childhood education, because that's where I started my career as well. And I love little kids. And there are so few people who, I mean, everyone thinks that, if you want to make it, you have to teach high school or you have to, be a professor, you have to do this. Nobody ever thinks that teaching these little kids are so important. So thank you for that. Thank you for that amazing your telling us about your journey. So Kanya, why don't you now tell us about how you got started? And it's so nice that you two are friends and now working together. So over to you, Sukanya.
Hi, Anupa. Thank you for having me. Um, I always felt school is my safe space. So growing up, it was my safe space to be. I do have a wonderful family, but still, I like the systematic way the school functions. I found great comfort in the order the school environment provides. I found families kind of a messy place. Like too many things can happen. There is no order. So the person that I am, I found comfort in structures and rituals, and I was lucky to be in a very good school which offered that to me, with of course all the flexibilities that would help me. So that is when I think I started this eternal love to remain in spaces that is about schooling. That is about education. And yeah, so once I was about to finish my college education, I was having this anxiety. Oh my God, now I have to work and not be in a space where learning is the most important thing. And so many other influences. I also saw how there were disparities in the kind of education people get and how it affects them. And I volunteered with Make a Difference and some other social outreach clubs that were in this college at that moment. And all this came together, which helped me make this very bold and very unpopular choice of stepping into education, foregoing my training as an engineer, much to my family's disappointment. Um, and then I plunged right into the action. A school was very happy to have me, even though I did not have the degree for education. They said that, okay, I'm passionate enough, and I had a good track record of being a student. So I went in and I thought, okay, now I'm going to switch on the intelligence in all my children. There's going to be some 10 Shakespeare's and 10 Wordsworths coming out of my classroom. Oh my God, I was so disappointed with what happened, because education was a much bigger game than a 20 something me could figure out and ace at. So that was a reality check. So I thought I have to get trained in education, understand what the landscape is before I try to do something. And that's when I enrolled myself for masters in Azim Premji University. And yeah, that was a terrific journey unto itself. After that, I was lucky to meet and work with beautiful people trying some very bold experiments. So the first place I worked after my masters is Vidyavanam. It's a school in Anekati, and they actually serve the Irula kids from Irula tribe. And that was a magical experience for me. And after that, I got married. I had to come back to Bangalore, and it was very difficult to leave the forests of Anekati and come back to this very urban place. Then I had to figure out a place that resembled at least few things about Vidyavanam, and that is when I found out Prakriya. I worked there for 2 years in the primary and middle school wings, and then I thought I should try something different. Started working in an NGO, Gubachi, where Kirti also works now. So there I taught language again. So that was another new experience. And after I, uh, I thought, okay, I have explored a good variety in being a teacher. So now let's see what else. And when Kirti presented this idea of parent engagement, I totally bought into it, because as a teacher, I found that we need to make parents more active in the conversation of education. They cannot be left out. Two PTMs a year is not enough to discuss a child's education to their parents. So I think this is a brilliant idea, and I want to see how I can be useful in this enterprise. So.
That's great. Thank you so much. I have met many engineers turned educators over the past 10, 15 years or so. So you're not alone. Don't worry. Many people have wondered whether their education was in vain, but I'm sure you'll be able to use something somewhere. So, Kirti and Sukanya, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction and your journey. And I'm really amazed. I mean, I'm quite old right now, and I'm amazed when I meet young people like you, and you've all done so much, like in such a short time. I sometimes I wish I was a young person now, and maybe I would have accomplished as much as you guys have done. So Kirti, I just wanted to know, ask you, how did you get into, parent engagement? I find that so fascinating because, when you think of education, we always think of the student and the school and the infrastructure and teacher training, and parents, I am realizing now, are very, very important part of the equation. So I would love to know, how did you, get this light bulb?
I think one part of your question has answered the question itself. When we think of education, we are mostly looking at teachers, schools, children, school leadership, states, policies, everything. There is very little importance given to parents, and if at all the importance is given, we see parents as either passive partners or somebody who will pay the bills, for stationery, uniform, everything that a child needs to be in the school. When we were having online classes, that was the first time I saw the teamwork that children and parents were doing. So when I was teaching in the world of school, lockdown happened. I was having online classes with children, and that time parents were sitting with the child. They were, they were there. They were not disturbing us or distracting us, but I could see the outcome of that teamwork. So parents are taking part into it. So it was not limited to homework, it was much more than that. Parents were helping children, children were helping parents more than anything else. So that is when I saw the outcome of the teamwork. That was my first time realization that how important parents are. Another thing is, and I was just thinking about it from almost 2 to 3 years. I kept thinking about it, why parents are not included or how to include them. To my validation came a report which says that for India to achieve the FLN goal, it's very important that parents become part of it. Uh, it may not be very accurate for the urban setting where parents are educated and working, but in the rural setting, when children are learning something new and they are first generation learners, they can't go back and have a conversation about it with the parent, and that gap needs to be bridged. So that gave the validation to my thought that I am in the right direction, I am thinking in the right direction. And also reflecting on my own childhood experiences. So my mother has never been to a school, and very much she wanted to become part of my school journey, but it was limited. There were many limitations, so it was limited to just asking me whether I finished my homework or not, or sending me for a tuition class. And I wanted to talk about it, but I knew my mother couldn't understand. So so there is this bond people build when they engage with their children. And what is the best time to start? I think it's early childhood education. That's when you start with, that's when parents can start engaging with the child. And that is called foundational year for a reason. It builds the foundation for life. So why not start as early as possible? So all these personal experiences from my online class and all of those things came together, and I thought, let me see what I can do.
That is so lovely. When you were speaking, I just recalled an incident in one of the schools that I work with. We had decided to, not have homework. Like, in general, the focus is so much on homework, and the children were getting stressed. And so we decided to not do homework and maybe just send a worksheet or so home, and whatever. And then the parents who are first generation, the children are first generation learners, their parents came and they were fighting with us and saying, how can you not give homework? Because for them, homework meant the children are being educated, So when you were speaking, that made me recall this incident. And we realize now how important it is for parents to be educated as well. I mean, not educated as in that way, going back to school, but to be a part of their children's journey. That's beautiful. And I'm so glad, and it's so heartwarming to know that people like you are thinking of parents as well. So Sukanya, why don't you tell us about what your role is in helping Kirti and the rest of the team accomplish this dream and vision of theirs?
So, Anupa, right now, Vetaas is in the starting stage of things. So, here, Kirti and I both do a little bit of everything. So, yeah, my role goes by the name Head of Strategy. So, in line with that, yes, I do create content. I speak to potential people who would like to engage with us. But it is true that I'm a part of everything, whether it is planning, whether it is doing, whether it is whatever. So that's where I am. Um, to speak a little bit more on why Vedas and why I am a part of it is is to do with the angle of mental health. So I do realize that nowadays there is a lot of traction to this word, to this concept, as if somehow we did not have mental health before. That's ironical, but anyway, I'm happy that it has gained a momentum now that we have come to talk about it. Um, so all my 9 years of being in education and my own education before that can has only taught me this much. Like it can be condensed to this much. It is like children don't learn what they are told; they learn what they see. So, as an adult, I know that life is stressful. I know life throws a lot of challenges every day. But when the adult who is around children uh, will have no help to cope with that, then they are inevitably passing it on to the children. So, our focus to work with parents is to help them cope with their everyday challenges, to make parenting less lonesome, less of a struggle and more of a joy, to make sure that the mental health of the caregivers to these young children are taken care of, so that we don't reinvent the wheel. We don't create children who are messed up because of what they see, and then they grow up to make some bad judgments and errors, and then end up in therapy. So we would like to see if we can break this cycle, if we can have healthy childhoods, and that is only possible with healthy parenthoods. And we'd like to see how we can become a part of this. So
I love it. I'm a parent myself. I was a young parent, and I know how difficult it can be, how dark it can be, how fun it can be. Like it's a mixture of everything. And we didn't have any guidance. I mean, I had a wonderful mom who was a wonderful mother to me, and so she was able to guide me as well. But I know that so many people are all alone. So I think that is amazing. Kirti and Sukanya, I'm really, really so impressed with everything that you're doing. And you're saying that you're just in the early stages of your, initiative, but I'm sure that it's going to be amazing. And I hope that many people will hear this and reach out to you. So I just want to know that what kind of communities, do you want to cater to with your parent engagement?
Yeah, so we started with preschools, and we offer them workshops. So it's not for parents, it's for parent and child. So we sort of see parent and child as one unit. They come together, they spend some time. We provide them with some activity kits that they can take home and recreate the same experience till we meet again. So we started with preschools. We want to build community of parents. different parents. There are single parents, there are co-parents, there are parents in nuclear families, parents in joint families. So parenting is very diverse in India. Even if we look at just one city, it's very diverse in its nature and in its approach. So we want to build a community where all these parents come together and talk about their challenges and everything. So we started with preschools, but we are open to going to societies where the residents are there. They might be having young children at home, so we want to approach them if they want to become part of our community. Then we are also open to different people working in different companies. So suppose there is a company, they have a number of, Bangalore is filled with many young engineers, these all these IT millennial parents. So we are open to any space where we can find young parents, and where any parent who is looking for some help, we are there to help them, support them. So these are the spaces we are exploring currently.
Thanks for that, Kirti. And it's so exciting to know that you're going to be spreading your engagement far and wide. And like I said, I hope that many parents will be able to, learn from you all and know how to engage with their children. So, Kanya, any parting words from you before we end this conversation? Anything that you would like to share?
Yeah. One last thing that I want to leave people who are listening this with is we are at this very unique point in our history where we are exposed to a lot of things, a lot of knowledge which wasn't available before. And therefore, we are that much responsible for what's going to happen after. So, if you are a parent, if you are a teacher, I think it's very brave of you to have chosen that. And there is no shame in asking for support. They are difficult journeys. Parenting is a difficult journey. Teaching is a difficult journey. So please avail the support. There are people like us. There are people. There is a whole industry that's coming up to support, and I think we should embrace it. Let's not do it solo. Solo is not so much fun, at least in some things. So let's do it well. Let's do the caregiving part well. Let's grow up and raise up with this responsibility we are handed with. So thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely, I agree. Most of us struggle with asking for help. And so we really, all of us, whether young, old, whatever it is, we need to learn to ask for help. Thank you, Sukanya. That was lovely. Kirti, any parting words from you?
Yeah. So I'll just say that it's never too late. We want to work with young children, young parents, but it's never too late to ask for help. So wherever they are in their journey, we are there to help. So why not asking for help if you need?
Yes, so everybody, please reach out to Kirti and Sukanya. There will be details in the description box. And so please reach out to them and ask for help, and let's help them get started. Thank you so much, both of you. It has been wonderful. It has been inspiring. And I hope your passion will take you higher and further. And I'm sure there are great things in store for both of you.
Thank you
Thank you
so much.
so much. Thank you. And we'll be in touch, but bye for now.
Bye for now.